is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
An icon reborn. A new season begins. Drivers must face off wheel to wheel with only one goal: to be crowned champion. Experience the competition and the glory days of early 80s IndyCar action. Hear the song of 500 horsepower Cosworth engines. Watch as drivers wrestle these ground effects cars into submission. Without electronic driver aids, it creates the perfect combination of man, machine, and speed. The Lionheart Retro Series, presented by HPP Simulation, starts now.
This is it. Down to the last race of the season. Two drivers seeing that championship in front of them, dangling like a carrot. But only one will come away with the prize. And we are a mere 250 miles away from determining who is going to walk away with that crown. Hello to everybody watching on IESN, and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green, presented by the Sim Pit. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats, and facts you'll need to appreciate the Lotus 79 action that will immediately follow as we count down to green for the Lionheart Championship 250, presented by Dewar's Candy. Adam Young here with you tonight, alongside me, my partner in crime for many a broadcast, Bill Soups on. I'm Jed Yaman, has director duties for what's sure to be an exciting race tonight, armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Now, I'm going to steal a little Soup's thunder here right off the bat and talk about points right away. 9 points separate Blocker and Saunders. Now, not looking at bonus points earned here for tonight for pole or laps led. If they finish on the podium today, as they have done 7 times this season, it would come down to who finishes ahead of who. And of course, nearly every single position in the top 20 in points today could swap hands in this double points event. And don't forget the team's championship. Rookie standings coming up in a minute as well. Oh, and we have 4 incidents separating Chris Lanini and Samuel Ryman for the Cleanest Driver Award. But Soup, as we draw 2018 to a close, we'll run on what has been a traditional season finale location for Lionheart here under the lights at Auto Club Speedway.
Open at Homestead, wrap it up at Auto Club Speedway. So here's the deal. In 1970, in the godforsaken land known as Ontario, California, the Big O Speedway, a 2.5-mile clone of Indy, opened. My dad took me to the first California 500. We sat in turn 3. It was hot, windy, dusty, and I watched Jim McElreath be one of only 7 cars running at the end to win that debut 500 race. As things happen in Southern California, neighborhoods expand, more housing is needed, and once desolate locations become prize real estate, and racetracks like Ontario and Riverside fall victim to the bulldozer. Enter Roger Penske, who, seeing the need for a racetrack in the area, found another Mars-like location named Fontana, and on the site of a former steel mill built a 2-mile D-shaped oval with 14-degree banking. Tonight's venue has the distinction of holding the world closed-circuit speed record set back in the kart champ era when, remember this name, Gil DeFerrin posted a lap time, I kid you not, of 241.428 miles an hour. That's awfully fast to be going around a closed circuit. We won't be going that fast under the halogens tonight, but with the right Dougie Beard camera angle, it might look that way. Now, the bulldozers getting to this place is a matter of when, not if. But when the end does come, at least this place can live on in the virtual iRacing universe. So on that solemn, foreboding note, let's go to something a little more cheerful, and that is the sponsor. Because everything I just talked about, as well as this entire countdown to green, comes courtesy of our sponsor, the Sim Pit. an entertainment channel dedicated to sim racing. Its mission is to bring you news, reviews, and information from around the world about sim racing hardware and software. It also focuses on what it takes to be a better sim racer with instructional videos and how-tos that will help your performance on the virtual track. Check it out at thesimpit.com. Now let's go to the point standings. These are brought to you by HPP Simulation. Adam touched on a little bit, and there you actually do see that interval of 9 points. Now here's the deal on bonus points. This is a double points race today. You get 2 bonus points for sitting on the pole, for leading a lap, for most laps led, and if you finish with 0 incidents, that's 8 points. The difference between the podium positions, well, that's about 10 points. And as Adam talked about, when you start doing the math and it all comes out in the wash, basically between Adam Blocker and Alex Sanders, it's going to come down to who finishes in front of who. Yes, if Blocker wins, I think he locks it up. Saunders can't get to him. But if Saunders win and Blocker finishes second, I think Saunders is going to get it as well. So just for the sake of argument, let's just call it whoever finishes ahead will be the champion. We'll drill down on it a little bit closer we get near the end. Let's go ahead and look at the team standings, and this is brought to by the good folks at Clipping That Apex. Now, 88-point interval between Raven and 8-Ball. That is very spannable. So here are the big names to watch out for Raven. Dustin Wardlow sits 3rd in the points. Samuel Ryman is in 8th. Travis Jagerliner in 9th. And George Anzaldel is 15th. The top 3 drivers score points for their team. How about for 8-Ball? Well, Michael Goodman and Justin Weaver sit 4th and 5th. Ron Hacker is 17th, but the sleeper, the guy to watch out for, is Dandy Dan Guerin. You don't even see him on the point standing. He's way back in 18th, but don't be fooled by that. He's faster than that position in the standings would indicate. Big points could be scored there, and we could actually see a swap between Raven and 8-Ball before the championship hardware is handed out. All right, let's go to Adam, and he's going to talk about the rookie standings.
Yeah, the rookie standings, it's locked up. Alex Saunders is going to be your Rookie of the Year this season, presented by Butt Kicker. Now, of course, the race is on for the other positions, and, well, Michael Goodman, he's solidly in second. I mean, if he finishes here tonight, I believe he's got it. And actually, no, he's more than got it. The race will still be on between Justin Weaver and Brian Yazek. Brian Yazek, of course, having a lot of bad luck here lately, kind of falling down in point standings here on the rookie board, but still not a bad place being in 4th position on that rookie board. And it's been a great season as far as those rookies are concerned, except for everybody. I mean, and for Alex Saunders, of course. I mean, he's just dominated, but the race has been on for second here for quite a while. And, of course, Lionheart sanctions both this series, the Retro Series, and the Big Sister IndyCar Series, and both campaigns honor the memory of the original Lionheart, Dan Weldon. With that in mind, we'll take a look at the Retro Series details.
Brought to you by the Sim Pit. Okay, there are 18 rounds. It's 2/3 ovals, 1/3 road courses, so that's 12 going around making left-hand turns, and 6 of them are going to be twisty courses. We're on the last one here tonight, here at Fontana, the ultimate round, the final round, the season finale. Of course, we're in the Lotus 49, the car that Mario Andretti took to the championship in Formula One back in 1978. Now, the setups are adjusted fixed. Everybody racing the same setup, but the series organized to give them something that is both fast and raceable. Puts on good racing. And here's the big one. Cash and prizes. And you want to stick around for the post-race show because we're going to talk about who gets what. Look at that. $4,391, including a pair of very elegant pedals from HPP.
All right, now with that, we're going to take a look at the weather here, and we'll talk a little bit about that. A very warm night they have here in Fontana, 90 degrees, excuse me, 89 degrees and 90-degree track temperature. And the big story, Soup, I think is going to be that wind out of the northwest at 17 miles an hour. Now, with it situated like that, that means at one corner of this track, this car is going to be pushing like a tank. On the other corner, the opposite corner, it might get pretty loose on people. So that's going to be something to watch out for here as the night goes along. We're about 30 seconds here from starting qualifying and see who's going to be the fastest. But Soup, going back to that weather, one thing I'm noticing here compared to last year at Auto Club is that the speeds are slower. And I have to think it might be because they're putting into account for that wind and what it's doing to the cars.
Could be. We don't know if they're using the same setup as they did in the previous year. Of course, this is the second season for this championship, so they may have learned a little bit from last time. You know, you talked about the wind. I kind of joked about it a little bit, but Fontana's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. It is very Mars-like, and boy, the wind can whip up in that high desert area. They call it the Inland Empire in California. It is inland. Empire, that's, well, they're using their imagination for that boy. Don't see a lot of royalty hanging around Fontana. But, yeah, certainly tonight's going to be interesting. I'm glad we're under the lights. I think it should be better racing than in the daytime.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a little bit more grippy. But now we just get to find out how these guys can do all by their lonesome. Single car qualifying runs here. Of course, everybody gets the usual 2 laps in the span of about 5 minutes. A lot of guys are going to be hitting the track here fairly quickly. Mark Cohn actually led practice, but we'll have to see what he can do by himself as the draft plays a big role here tonight, Soup.
A healthy 27-car field, healthy by most series at the end, most series standards when we get to the end of the season. A little bit small for Lionheart standards, but nevertheless should be pretty entertaining. There's Samuel Ryman in the Golden State Rottweiler Club machine.
Of course, Samuel Ryman only trails Chris Lanini by 4 incidents here for the Cleanest Driver Award, and that's some bragging rights right there. I mean, that's not small potatoes as far as an award here in Lionheart for that Cleanest Driver Award. So that's what Samuel Ryman wants to get, but of course he wants to get it the right way. But even just one accident could flip that one on its head.
Sam prides himself on being clean. There's our series organizers, George and Zaldo. George looking to put in that first qualifying time. Congratulations to him for putting on another great season.
Yeah, he'll be, spoiler alert, he's carrying the butt kicker on board camera tonight. So great view of him as we're going around. And, this is going to be a view that I think a lot of people are getting ready to see a lot more of here, Soup, as far as the lights looking like this, but maybe even here in the next few weeks with some of the updates iRacing is getting, the whole day-to-night transition. You'll be able to have this view in that evening sky in Fontana. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. Watch him dip off the banking, and see where he ends up on the leaderboard here so far. And it would be 7th.
I believe transitions when I see it. Here's a newcomer, Paul Jenkins. We saw a little bit of him last time. Very impressive. Getting his feet wet for Season 3. Coming up in 2019.
Now, Soup, I was trying to pull it up when I was talking about the Cleanest Driver Award, but I want to go ahead and mention that now. Here's why the Cleanest Driver Award is important to these guys. Winner of it's going to get $50. They're going to get 8.5 by 11 prints, trading card set, Tales from the Indy 500 book, 100th running of the Indy 500 shirt, an Indy 500 hat. It's a lot on the line just for the Cleanest Driver Award. It pays off literally to be the cleanest driver in this series.
And Zalda does such a great job. It's not just the cash, it's these cool. Who doesn't want a set of trading cards and the Tales of Indy? That sounds like a good read. My gosh.
Well, so far, top of the leaderboard is Brian Yossing's going to come by here, set his time, and we'll see where he's going to end up. He's sitting last the first time around, and he's going to get moved up to 16th position. And so far, a provisional pole is going to Dustin Wardlow here so far, and I think he's set both his times.
In the DeWars Candy Machine, when you do sponsor the race and you end up on pole, conspiracy theorists start to go crazy on that one, but congratulations to the Candy Man sitting on the pole right now.
Christopher really dove that thing to the inside of the tri-oval there. Now you bring that Adrenaline Motorsports machine to the stop. Now we're going to be back on Frank Beezer. I think Frank Beezer's the only one on track at speed. What does he end up at? It looks like he was going to hold station at 24th position. So that was his second lap, and he is slowing down through turns 1 and 2. So qualifying is over. Everybody, for the most part, has set a time except Ryan Beard, and it doesn't look like he's going to. So he's so I think it's safe to give Dustin Wardlow the pole. And you know what that also does? That gives him 2 bonus points, and maybe even bigger, Soup, is it keeps those 2 bonus points away from Adam Blocker and Alex Saunders. So
Yeah,
that's a story right there.
Honestly, that was what qualifying was all about. I don't really think passing is going to be that big of an issue. We have a long way to go tonight, plenty of time to get there. So the bonus points was really what they were shooting for.
Exactly, and of course, those bonus points, they help out Wardlow quite a bit. I mean, he went into this race only 4 points ahead of Michael Goodman for third in this point standings overall. So there's a lot of bragging rights there too, to be third in a series like this where it has been just nuts. But Dustin Wardlow has done it, Soup, by being consistent. I mean, he is consistently somewhere in the top 5 of these races here this season.
The Candyman, he can sprinkle dew on a moonbeam. I don't know what he does. He gets somebody tell me the Sammy Davis Jr. lyrics on that one. But what he can do right now is sit on the pole.
That's right. So let's go ahead and go to that HPP simulation grid. And how is that looking tonight? We've already talked about Dustin Wardlow on the pole. Who got second? Well, that would be Dandy Dan Guerin.
Row 2 is Ron Hacker. He's going to be inside of Alex Saunders.
All right, row 3, Michael Goodman sitting fourth in the standings coming in. He's going to be chasing Dustin Wardlow. Alongside him is going to be Jake Wright.
Hailing from the beautiful town of Bakersfield is Jason Galvin. He's going to be flanked by our points leader, Adam Blocker.
And in row 5, Miss Budweiser makes a return tonight after running the Team Canada colors last week. Andrew Kinsella, alongside him is going to be Travis Jägerliner.
The next graphic, we'll see George Anzaldo and Chris Stouffer in row 6.
Row 7 is going to belong to Chris Lanini and Justin Weaver.
David Altman is in 15th. All ribbons and curls in the Sweet 16 position, none other than Brian Yasek.
Next up, you will find Bart Workman and then Robert Bluen. They'll be in row 9.
Samuel Ryman is in 19th position, flanked by Mark Cohn.
And going into row 11, you will find Paul Jenkins and then James Brandt.
Cody Eldred, Frank Beezer, and Brian Beard wrap up the 25-car field.
And as these guys start to roll away, well, we'll go ahead and move on over and take a look at who's driving at HPP Simulation Machine. That's going to be Brian Yasek here for tonight. And of course, HPP awarding a set of pedals valued at $1,395 to the season champion this year. Who's it going to be? Adam Blocker, Alex Saunders? We got 250 miles to figure that out. And HPP's hydraulic pedals, though, and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. Visit hppsimulation.com to check it out. And also now Robert Bluen also carrying that clipping that Apex machine for Dragonfly Racing. Dragonfly Racing, of course, is heavily involved in the team's championship here this season. And then moving over to George Anzaldo. George Anzaldo, we've already looked at him once tonight, but yeah, we'll give him to him again. Butt kicker, carrying that butt kicker on board camera. We'll talk a little bit more about butt kicker and what they offer as the broadcast goes along. But George is going to be giving us a whale of a view here tonight, running alongside that side of the wing. I cannot forget Dustin Wardlow in that Dewar's Candy Machine, starting from the pole. Everybody behind him, he's getting ready to take the green flag here just momentarily as they are rounding turn 4 here at Auto Club Speedway, just waiting for that Mustang pace car to dip off the track. And then we'll be getting going and setting 38-second lap times around this place here for tonight. Dustin Wardlow on the loud pedal. We are away for 250 miles of action here for the Lionheart Championship presented by Dewar's Candy. Dustin Wardlow at least getting that early jump on everybody. He's going to be able to hold it down to that white line leading into turn 1. He's got Dan Guerin right on the outside of him. So far, he's going to hold that position. Soup, that draft's going to play a big role here for tonight, and I think that Ron Hacker's got a great run here coming up on Dustin Wardlow. We're going to go 3 wide going down the back straightaway. Anybody going to lift? We can take it 3 wide going into turn 3. It looks like Ron Hacker's going to clear him. Dan Guerin's going to come down. Dustin Wardlow's going to slide up in front of him. They're 3 wide behind him. You've got Adam Blocker at the bottom. Alex Saunders up at the top. They'll situate themselves out a little bit. They'll stagger, and Dan Guerin will now run alongside Adam Blocker and be complete lap 1.
Classic Auto Club Racing as everybody fans out, looking for clear air as they go 3 wide, low, middle, and high. They do it again through 2.
This track has a lot of space to be able to do that fan out movement there. And that'll be a lot of space that these guys are counting on to be able to stay off each other. Adam Blocker, though, he wants those bonus points early. Is he going to be able to do anything here as we come down to complete lap 2 in just a moment? He's going to be able to get a run? No, he's going to move up the track and try to defend a little bit against Ron Hacker. Move back down, try to catch a little bit of that draft from Dustin Wardlow now. Maybe he'll come back up in turn 1. Dustin Wardlow is going to defend that bottom line. Really holding it down there, Soup, as Adam Blocker takes a peek on the outside. Gets that clean air across his nose. Able to dive it in there a little bit quicker. See if he's able to carry that momentum off the back straightaway. Those two guys separate themselves out just a touch from the rest of the field. Just like sometimes you see on restrictor plate racing in NASCAR. Don't always want to be completely separate from the field. They'll run you down. Adam Blocker is going to take the lead here momentarily. Coming out of 4, is he going to be able to get the bonus points this lap? Those bonus points, oh, so important tonight. And here he comes. Chalk 2 more points up to Adam Blocker. The pressure is now on Alex Saunders to try to get those bonus points as well. But Alex Saunders mired back in, what is that now? He's trying to find his position here. Suba in 7th position.
Yeah, working back there. He's okay, though. He's right underneath Goodman. Blocker with 2 things on his mind. Pick up those bonus points and also, it's safer out in front. Nobody's going to spin in front of you when you got nobody in front of you, obviously. Wardlow looking on the outside now. We got to be careful back there as still plenty of time to go. Alexander's back in 7th. He's sandwiched between Stouffer and Michael Goodman, 2 drivers he has complete confidence in.
I got one guy that would disagree with you about it being safer out front there, Sue.
Yeah?
Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Sorry, had to do it. Adam Blocker continuing to lead this field. Dustin Wardlow really wants to try to get back around him, but hasn't been able to do too much just yet. We'll go ahead and go back just a little bit. Jason Galvin looking hungry back here in 4th position. He right now is in a Dan Guerin and Michael Goodman sandwich. Now, Michael Goodman, do not take your eye off Michael Goodman here. Don't forget, he won Michigan earlier this season. Michigan, was kind of the template that they used when they made California Auto Club Speedway. Of course, granted, Auto Club has just slightly lower banking.
Maybe a little lower banking and a little wider. It's a little easier to go 3 wide here at Fontana.
Just a touch.
Galvin moves up into 6th position. Very clean racing so far.
One guy another guy that we're going to have to keep our eye on here tonight is going to be Justin Weaver, and he's back there in 11th position now. He's up a few spots already, but another guy that's up a few spots is just ahead of him, and that's going to be Brian Yazik. Brian Yazik trying to see what he can do. He did very well in traffic in practice, and obviously trying to equate that to race performances. He has his eyes on Andrew Kinsella right now.
6th position gain for Yazik, right behind the Budweiser car of Andrew Havakech Kinsella. Kinsella, of course, in the championship battle over in the Big Sister Series, the Lionheart IndyCar Series, racing in a battle with Adam Blocker. They have 2 races to go. Blocker looking to do the double, something you brought up last time, Adam. If he's going to have some serious hardware if he can win this series and then that IndyCar Series as well, he'll be set.
Yeah, he'll be set for a while. And Soup, I think it's just about as good a time as any, real quick, to talk about the race analysis.
We'll bring that up. Look how far we're going. Well, it's 125 laps, double that because it's 2 miles around, so it's 250 miles. Now, the max fuel, 51. They always lie to us. Let's call that 53. Then, of course, those are your traditional incidents. 8 and 12 get you DQ'd.
And, of course, we'll have to see how well that fuel stint works out there, Soup, because not a lot of opportunities to save here at Auto Club. I mean, you can use the draft just a little bit, but your foot's on the ground almost all the way around this place.
And then, of course, as the co-commentator, I would like to tell you how tire strategy is going to play out, but honestly, I don't think anyone knows how this is going to work out.
We gave up on that a long time ago.
These old 1978 tires are hard as a rock, and some drivers actually go faster on old tires. They say the car rotates better, so it's really anybody's guess on this one.
We even, earlier this season, even had a driver say he lost the race because he took tires. Not because of the time it took to take the tires on, because it literally made his car handle worse. So maybe we'll get in somebody's ear about that after the night gets done here and try to find that out. But right now, it looks like your top 10 is gone single file. Of course, just as I say that, Dan Guerin's going to go ahead and try to take the high line here, see if he can take a look at the outside of Ron Hacker. Ron Hacker has some momentum going down the back straightaway. I don't think that move's going to go anywhere, but his teammate, Michael Goodman, taking a look at the inside now with Christopher. Another move that I don't think is going to go anywhere, except Christopher drifting up high. Oh, back in.
Oh,
that's Jason Galvin. He saved it.
He'll just get a speeding penalty.
Oh, two incredible moves there. Jason Galvin saves his car. Christopher reacts to what's happening in front of him and saves his own car and doesn't even lose a position. We're riding on board now, Jason Galvin. Look at this back end. Just step out from him. And if that's not a heart attack moment for him, I don't know what is. He'll have a speeding penalty to take care of, but it's better than having to worry about your car. We're back on board here with Christopher. Watch this happen in front of him. Watch this quick reaction here. And it just be a real quick snap, and then it's right back on the throttle. Michael Goodman gives him the room. They're back to racing. No yellow flag here at Fontana.
Since Galvin was there, he decided go ahead and make a pit stop, pay the extra 15 seconds while I'm there. Now he's just got to hope that it stays green till everybody else has to come in, which will be in quite a while. We're looking at about 40 laps.
And that's not a bad strategy at all by Jason Galvin. You're able to do that here and not lose a lap to the leader. Now, of course, he'll be running by himself, but it's looking like, Soup, that the time difference between running by yourself and running in the pack is only a couple tenths of a second. So as long as he can keep the car clean here for a little bit, I think he'll be all right if we get a yellow flag or something. And actually, it does look like in that process that he did end up losing a lap. He is being scored one lap down.
Based on how fast he actually entered pit lane, he almost needed a double penalty because he got to his pit box in a blink of an eye. So he might actually made time by the time he served his penalty.
Yeah, no joke. Whew. that right there, folks, was 190 miles an hour of, oh man. So riding on board now, Dustin Warlow, that DeMora's Candy Machine, and still has almost everybody behind him. He does have Adam Blocker now in front of him. And, of course, championship update, Alex Saunders now sitting in 6th position, has yet to lead a lap here for tonight. You know he wants those bonus points. And don't forget, Soup, of course, you do get 2 bonus points as well for running a clean race. Now, why track like Auto Club? It's very well that both those guys could end up with 2 bonus points for just that alone and come out in the wash. But that will be something to watch out for if we end up starting to have a rash of incidents.
Bonus points for leading the most laps. So that's what Adam Blocker has out there right now as he's up in front. You know, we talked about tires, but unless the attitude of the drivers are changing, you can see that they're settling down now that they're 15 laps into a green flag run.
Hey, this last time by here, I actually go the lap 14 from Ron Hacker coming out of turn 4. He gets into the wall while he's running in that pack. And that was almost a big moment back there with right there about 4th, 5th position. Right on board here with him. You'll see him. That's right at the tail end where he's getting the car back together. So, but he was able to save the car. We'll take a wide look here. Coming in, you'll see him brush that wall. That's Christopher there on the inside of him. And those rear tires, Soup, on these Lotus 79s, you get a little too close to those walls, those big rear tires will just grab it.
You know, you race with Wild 7 on the side of your car. You kind of expect to get a little bit loose every once in a while. This is kind of Hacker's modus operandi. He's been really fast in qualifying as late, but hasn't been able to race as well. How about we go up to the DeMora's Candy Machine? Here's a pass for I believe is going to be, what would that be, 3rd position? Yeah, this is Stouffer on the inside. Justin Wardlow on the outside. You can see that inside line, to my eyes, just isn't working like it did early on.
And that could be a product of the tires maybe aging a little bit. Yet we do have that win, and I think that could play a role in how these tires wear, as in one corner of the track you're going to be loose, and the other corner of the track you're going to be tight. So that'll be something to watch out for. But Dustin Wardlow, I think, starting to fight an ill-handling race car.
Good racing. Wardlow now protecting the inside, making Stouffer go around the top side. Green so far as we work lap 17. Everybody on the lead lap, except for Jason Galvin.
And of course, that was well documented what happened to him, but he needs a lucky break in order to get back on the lead lap, but he did take a full pit stop, so we'll see what happens as the race goes along, being off cycle. And of course, we are looking at a pit window tonight of about, we were talking 51 to 53 laps.
The over-under is 53 if you're a gambler. Let's see. They say 51. We always like to add 2. 53 and a half is what I'm calling for even money over-under. Keep in mind.
Oh, Dustin Warlow's around, coming out of turn 4.
Oh, nobody's safe.
Car. It pushes up into the wall, hits the wall hard enough, Soup, that he actually might have to worry about suspension damage. But he did get that car back straight.
Spins off down into pit lane.
Oh, I'm watching him coming to his stall, Soup, and the car is crabbing. He's almost losing it here coming into the stop.
An early night for our race sponsor. I think he'll have some serious work to get that car racing in a straight line again.
We'll monitor that situation, but Dan Guerin now looking at the lead, trying to do something with Adam Blocker as we complete lap 20. Not able to do anything with him here just yet, but Dan Guerin is right there.
Well, that's one less car for Alex Saunders to have to worry about now, back in 4th. As our pole sitter is out of the picture so far.
So, obviously, as you've seen already, turn 4 might be the problem area we are going to need to keep an eye on here for the rest of the night. So, seeing a lot of cars drift up high. And let's watch Dan Guerin now take a look at the outside of Adam Blocker. Adam Blocker looks like maybe starting to adjust his line a little bit here, Soup.
Guerin, again, remember we talked about Guerin scoring points for 8-Ball Motorsport, or 8-Ball Motorsports in the team championship. The sleeper guy on that team. They continue to race in kind of staggered position. We'll wait for this to settle down, then there's one driver I want to go to here in a minute. As soon as this settles down. Where are you, Dan? There he is, that number 8. Not going to be able to do it. Let's drop back to the Watchman. This is driver in 7th, Mark Cohn. He is up 13 positions, racing out there in that number 39 machine.
He was the fastest in pre-race practice. So we know he's got a quick machine underneath him here tonight. He's showing that here so far in race conditions.
We learned a little bit about him. He is nicknamed the Watchman because he has an extensive watch collection as we ride over the top of his helmet.
Is he wearing that watch collection while he's driving, weighing down his arms?
It's sim racing, so I'd imagine so. I know my partner Sean Ambrose was willing to donate. He was going to mail over his Casio to him. He has a cool Casio with a little calculator on it.
It's like, I think maybe, you know, with the weight of the arms and the watch is holding down his arms, maybe it's making it more stable. Maybe that's why he's great on these ovals.
Well, the trick is
just theorizing here.
The trick is to wear it on your left hand because then it's naturally pulls the car over, helps you make it. Helps the car rotate.
Little bit less wear and tear.
Yeah. Boy, they are side by side. That red car on the top side, that's Andrew Havakech-Kinsella in the popcorn position. Back there in the Moby Stickies machine, Justin Weaver. Halfway through this run, we dodged 2 bullets with Galvin spinning and going down pit lane or losing it, and then Dustin Ward luckily hitting the wall and bouncing into pit lane. We race under green.
And I'm noticing a lot of these guys getting a little bit more timid off of turn 4, so they're not taking a chance after seeing what happened with Galvin and Wardlow getting any closer to that wall than they need to. And by the way, we can move Alex Saunders now up into 3rd position. Looking at James Brandt here coming off pit lane, actually down well off the apron and trying to get out of the way. And not the smoothest texture out there. He's actually going to bring his car to a stop. Let's see what's going on with him.
Hopefully, he owns a butt kicker product to really get the full sensation, the haptic immersion.
Oh,
he had a spin.
He did, coming off of 4, got into the wall.
And he spun down pit lane as well.
And he wasn't, he actually kept it off the inside wall as well. So, but I have a feeling that the turn 4 wall did its damage just like what it did to Wardlow. So his day may be done. Going back up front now. Here's Adam Blocker. Alex Saunders. Now taking a look at the outside. Of Christopher. Woo! If I could talk, that would be great.
They race nose to tail, and up front, going around the top side. That's Dan Guerin.
Dan Guerin taking the lead for that lap. Lead lap 27. Adam Blocker, though, able to take it right back the inside there, coming out of turn 2. Now we're going to snake down the backstretch, riding on board Alex Saunders here. Kind of get an idea of how these guys coming off turn 2 go right down to the bottom of the track and try to figure things out from there.
You know, if I'm a tire changer for a driver that has a pit stall at the back of pit lane, I want hazard pay. The way the cars are spinning off at turn 4 going down pit lane. You need an eye in the back of your head to do your job. Boy, they come across. What's the difference there on that one? How about 1/1000th of a second, if I know my decimal points? Walker ahead.
That sounds about right. Not by a lot. As these guys continue to race with Dan Guerin and Adam Blocker up front, they had built up a little bit of a gap over Stouffer, Saunders, and Ron Hacker, but that gap is starting to close again here, Soup, and that's exactly what Alex Saunders wants to see right now.
Boy, I want to take you back in the field a bit, but we got to stay here. I just got a hunch. I just hate to leave this going on right now up here. And I really think Saunders is on the move. As we're looking there at this, now they're stringing out. Guerin working up top. Sofer on Saunders racing 3rd and 4th behind. And how about Ron Hacker after having his little escapade with the wall? Still in 5th.
Yeah, so far, Ron Hacker is the one that's got away the easiest with that turn 4 contact. Just barely brushed it. Not enough to do any suspension damage. In fact, he kept his foot in the throttle the entire time. And he's paying off for it here so far, running in 5th. He's got his teammate Michael Goodman right behind him, running in 6th. So those two cars, well, we know that they're strong on these ovals. They'll be something to contend with here later on in this race. We still got a long way to go here, Sue, as we are coming down to complete lap 31, having completed now about 62 miles.
We are still under green from the beginning, but it's not from lack of spins, as we've had 3 of them. They just all caromed off down into pit lane. Now we're getting a 3-call battle. Chris Stouffer qualified 12th. Don't let that qualifying fool you. He's not the best qualifier. Chris likes to race.
He does, and that has been a very steady climb for Chris Stouffer there. Almost a study of a climb is what Mark Cohn has been able to do now, up in 7th, up 13 spots. I mean, we got some big movers here in the field here for today. So we Stouffer, Cohn, Justin Weaver's up 5 spots, Brian Yazik's up 6 spots, David Altman's up 3 spots, and one of the biggest movers, probably the second biggest mover, we actually have to go back to Frank Beazer for. Frank Beazer started shotgun, almost shotgun on this field. I think he was next to last. And, well, here he is. He's up 10 spots up to 14th position.
I'm glad our director took us back here because I've been dying to get back to this battle. We had to leave what's going on up front. That's Anzaldo. Down low is Altman. And there is Jake Wright back there. That's the 3rd car in line that you're looking at, the dark blue machine racing in the car number. What would that be there if I can find my car number? Car number 1, of course. Well, when you're a multi-time champion, that's the number you get. Looking back at those two guys going side by side, Altman down low and Zaldo up top. Just ahead of Frank Biza, we talked about having that great run, up 10 spots into 14th. Turn back around, you can see another car way back there. That's Sam Ryman in 15th. There he is. Out there racing in the Gender and Sexuality Research Center. Machine. The familiar red and white colors of that organization. Workman in 16th. Racing just about where he started.
Yeah, these guys are, for the most part now, as things have kind of settled out and strung out a little bit, it's running more and more single file, except for the lead, which is still going on. And then back here, I mean, you know, brought up the Zaldo Wright battle, and then you got Jaeger, Liner, and Workman. I mean, this is where the racing's at right now for sure, Sue.
It is indeed. Now we get to the question, how far can they go?
Oh, we're gonna find out. We're within 15 laps here, I think, of having a better idea. We're thinking about the pit window. We keep talking. It's going to be 51, 52, 53, maybe 54. Who knows? But Chris Stouffer looks like he's starting to drop back a little bit. Alex Saunders has a head full of steam up front. It's all of a sudden things picking up here, Stu. Is Alex Saunders now trying to take that third position? You know he knows that he needs to get to the lead to equal up on bonus points with Adam Blocker. And he might have a good look at the inside here. Adam Blocker going to cut down, though. That might make Alex Saunders lift just a little bit in order to get the aero wash. But Adam Blocker actually is the one that suffers from the aero wash off Dan Guerin. Alex Saunders dipping to the inside. He retains fourth position for right now, but he's going to be more underneath. Chris Stouffer, Adam Blocker right now blocking him. I guess it's in the name, right? So Adam Blocker moves up to the high side. He's going to take more of the middle line here, going from 1 to 2.
Luckily, he wasn't named Adam Let Him By, or he would not nearly be as an effective sim racer. You know, I looked at lap times to see if there was any fall off. Absolutely none. Lap times are just identical to where they are when we were racing lap 1 and 2. In fact, Blocker just set his fastest lap about 3 laps ago. Here comes Saunders.
Saunders taking a look here. He's trying to go for second now on the outside. This is your 2 championship contenders right now, running second and third, running side by side, going through turn 2, coming onto the back straightaway here. Dan Guerin's the one in front of them. Dan Guerin really doesn't have a dog in the fight in the championship battle here right now, but the 2 guys behind him sure do. Is Alex Saunders getting a big run coming down the back straightaway. He's going to dive to the inside of Dan Guerin. He's looking for those bonus points. He's looking to lead that lap. Is he going to be able to do it? And he will chalk another 2 bonus points up to Alex Saunders.
One of the most stupid statements in sports commentary is, if the race were to end right now, it's not going to end right now, but I just have to follow into it. If it were to end right now, Alex Saunders would be your champion.
Remember, it is a double points event here tonight. So what is usually a 5-point gap between positions is a 10-point gap between positions. With the interval of 9 between them, if they are on the podium together, as long as the bonus points even out, then that means that whoever finishes in front of whoever is your championship winner. So that's something to keep an eye on. And it's not that that hasn't happened this season. It's happened 7 times this season with both Alex Saunders and Adam Blocker on the podium in the Lionheart Retro Series this season. So it can happen. It could happen. It might happen here tonight, where this very well could come down to, who knows, maybe a photo finish at the line for your championship as Alex Saunders and Dan Guerin decide to swap the lead here one more time, go 3 and 4.
Saunders is actually our spotlighted driver. And maybe we can bring that up. I don't mean to get out of my lane here, but maybe this is a good opportunity to look at our spotlighted driver, and we can talk about something that's very interesting about him, as we're going to show you the live action and then the recorded action of him working on a road course. Look down there as you see the career wins of 8, and this is all this season. How about top 5s and top 10s, both of 11? What that means is it's either feast or famine for him. And he actually has more wins this season than does Blocker, but he just doesn't have quite the consistency that Adam has. Our spotlighted driver, Alex Saunders. This is his rookie season, and he is making quite a splash. I think that actually helped him, Adam. We get that spotlight out of the way. Now he doesn't have to worry about it. Now he can race with a clear conscience.
Yeah, exactly. That's one way to look at it, Soup.
Saunders out in front right now.
These guys continuing to use that back straightaway to get a lot of good runs and continue to swap the position now up front. Instead of Dan Guerin and Adam Blocker now, though, Adam Blocker has been replaced by Alex Saunders here. And starting to see that back from third, fourth on back start to drop back just a touch more once again. So they'll be wanting your leaders to start racing and then maybe get back in the single file line and try to catch back up. But right now, Chris Stouffer is on the inside of Adam Blocker.
Lap times of about 38 seconds right now. The interval between the first car on the lead lap and the last car on the lead lap, about 15 seconds. So we got a while to go before we're going to get to lap traffic.
These guys are absolutely flying around here right now, by the way. I was just looking at Chris Stouffer's last lap, his lap 42 time, or 43 time rather, Soup, and it was almost a 38 flat. So
yep,
they are absolutely flying almost a half second faster than what they were in qualifying.
Oh, I love that camera angle there, that low camera angle as they come at you. That just goes to show you what you're looking at. That car up there, the Beard of Zeus blue car of Adam Blocker, being chased by Stouffer, and then Hacker, Ron Hacker. Hey, way to go. Looking on the inside. Watched a little Anchorman this weekend, so.
Oh boy. Loud noises. Oh, don't get me started on Anchorman, Soup. I can quote that all night. I can quote that as well as I can Top Gun.
Oh, gee, a movie about your profession. Why couldn't you? Dan Guerin takes over the lead. Look at that car back there in 6th. That is the Watchman, Mark Cohn, up from 20th position. Working on the back of Ron Hacker.
He was able to get up to this front pack soon before that second group broke off. And you got a couple of guys running solo, and then if you have to go all the way back now to 13th position and Jake Wright to find that second large pack.
That pack back there as well, racing in staggered position. Everybody looking for clear air on the nose. Up front, we see the car dipping down.
Getting closer to that pit stop time here, Soup. We should be possibly within 4 to 7 laps of seeing these guys start to come down pit road. So the question about the stints is getting ready to get answered because we've been green this entire time. No yellow flags in the mix. Nothing like that. These guys have been going full throttle now for almost 50 laps. So they're going to be wanting some fuel here before too long.
One pace lap as they followed the beautiful Medina Mendez around in the pace car. But now they are working lap 58. The number we were given was 50 to 51. Vegas set the over-under at 53 and a half. If I have one prediction of somebody who's going to do it, Andrew Kinsella. Look for him to go long. That's his the way he races.
And, of course, if you're curious, Vegas, yes, they will bet on anything out there. Just saying. Just saying. I'm sure the Lionheart Retro Series is on a monitor somewhere in a betting room somewhere in Vegas. It probably is. Looking at Alex Saunders, he's going to try to go ahead and sneak away another lap here. And he did, but that was 2/200ths of a second there for the lead on that particular lap. Now 49. That's how many laps we got in the books.
Now here's what I know about wanting to lead. The drivers will not.
Sorry, go ahead, Sue.
The drivers won't admit it, but they like to get to the front when it's pit stop time. I just saw Dan Guerin duck underneath Saunders right now.
And speaking of pit stop time,
down pit lane.
Here comes Christopher. And I was expecting this, Sue, because he just ran a 37.966. He ran a sub 38, so you know that car was getting light.
Burning up the jet fuel.
Number 7 machine here, seeing maybe if he'll be lucky, number 7 tonight. First one down pit road, he's doing it in clean air as he comes to complete lap 50.
Now here's the good news for the Bakersfield boy, Jason Galvin, who had that spin early. He's now in the window of if everyone can come in and make that stop, he'll be equal. Of course, then he'll need a yellow to come out. Here come the big guys.
Adam Blocker. I'm seeing, is that Dan Guerin with him?
Saunders, Hacker, Kinsella, and Weaver all stay out along with Michael Goodman.
Yeah, Mark Cohn is in behind them. Yazik, Altman, Insaldo, and Workman all in as well.
Boy, it's so important to hit your box. You do not want to give up time here.
Soup, I don't say this very often. You were wrong.
Well, maybe. Andrew Kinsella going to prove me right as he stays out.
He's trying. He's trying.
Working lap 52.
Alex Saunders now in, along with Ron Hacker and Michael Goodman, those teammates pitting together.
Our leaders right now, Andrew Kinsella and Justin Weaver.
And to give you an idea of how much time the pit stops cost them, if you look out in front of Andrew Kinsella, you'll find Adam Blocker only a couple of seconds up ahead of him. So you can make a pit stop and not lose a lap. It's very close as Andrew Kinsella decides it is time, and Justin Weaver's coming with him.
Dan Guerin stays out. Obviously, he has made his stop, so now he's going to go around and see if he can pick up his lap. Travis Jagerliner, last of the guys to stay out, comes in. Sam Ryman is still out there. Is he going to be our leader? Sam's going to prove me right as he goes to lap 53. I don't know if he's going to get credited with leading a lap. Yes, he did, actually. Atta boy.
Oh, I have to think he's going to come down this time, though. He's going to go for 54. No, he's off the gas. He's coming down the pit road.
Pits on lap 53. Keep that number in mind. Remember, there was a pace lap involved in that one. All right, Kinsella has made his stop, and he is the leader now.
Hey, he had a short pit stop there. I'm
a little too short, perhaps, because here he comes again. Have a catch. Maybe forgot to get the nozzle in the tank.
A big, unfortunate happening for Andrew Kinsella as he has to come back down pit road. But maybe fortunate here for Jason Galvin if he is able to get a caution here in about the next, I think it was about 10 or 15 laps. He might be okay and be able to stay on the lead lap and retain his position on the lead lap, but he's going to need a caution very quickly. And with the way these guys have been running tonight, I don't know, Sue.
Well, he's been out for 43 laps, so we figure he's got about 10 to go. Yeah, he's thinking of rivers in China, ribbons around old oak trees, and cowardice right now, looking for something yellow.
All right, so after the pit cycle with your leaders has finished, in the lead by a lot compared to what it was. Adam Blocker now in the lead by 1.6 seconds over Alex Saunders, and you have to go back another 3 seconds behind Alex Saunders to find Dan Guerin and Chris Stouffer. That top group now after the first round of pit stops is really broken up now, Soup. It's going to be a question of who can put down the best hot laps. And Alex Saunders cannot let Adam Blocker go away for too long, because there's another 2 bonus points for who leads the most laps here tonight.
Saunders about 2.5 seconds back to, there they are right there. And then you can see those 2 cars battling behind. That is Stouffer and Guerin. Looking for a big surprise after that pit stop. So they're all pretty much racing where they were. 5th is Hacker. Justin Weaver in 6th. Mark Cohn about where he was racing. Michael Goodman back there in 8th.
Yeah, you know, and it's the distances between them that have changed a lot, and that's about it. But now that we've completed the first round of pit stops, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on GSRC on the iRacing Esports Network. We'll be right back.
The SimPit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The SimPit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for the SimPit.
And welcome back to the Lionheart Championship 250 on the iRacing Esports Network, presented by GSRC. And of course, tonight, sponsored by Dewar's Candy. If you're tired of impersonal gift cards and you're looking for a truly unique gift idea that will leave a lasting impression, get your trophy room ready, because Dewar's Gourmet Taffy Chews will have you looking like a champ. Dewar's Chewy Peanut Butter Filled Taffy has been enjoyed by generations of families dating back to 1909. They're now shipped all over the world. For more information, go to dewarscandy.com.
I can't commentate. My mouth is watering. Man, their peanut butter taffy. Oh, it's good.
It is. Well, I mean, I would know if it was. If you know, Dustin would send me some. One day. Maybe we'll guilt him into it again.
It's a California company. He's up in Northern California. I'm just down the state a little bit. Shipping is easier. Hey, you know, we got 18 cars on the lead lap. Let's take a look at the guy who's about to go a lap down. This is Robert Blue in the last car on the lead lap, having a good run out there in the clipping that apex. Hey, another great sponsor, Adam. You know, if you're looking for that Christmas shopping, there's some guys to go to. They got some great apparel there. We tag back. He's got about, I think about 5 seconds before Blocker and Saunders start seeing him.
And speaking of Blocker and Saunders, when we went to break, the interval was 1.6 seconds. Now it's almost 1.9 seconds. So Blocker slowly pulling away here in the clean air. Now, Soup, you know, a completely random thing here, but
okay.
I was down in the San Marcos, they have outlet strip mall there.
All right.
And, so if anybody's watching in Texas in that area, you know, I went out there for some Black Friday shopping, and they have a motorsports apparel store there. I had never seen that before. It's an F1 apparel store in Texas. I'm like, all right, I'm okay with this. Cool. Yeah. Of course, I had to spend a few minutes in there. Couldn't buy anything because, well, I'd already spent a lot of money on Black Friday. We're not going to go into that part, but yeah, looking at the side-by-side battle now still between Dan Guerin and Christopher. They straighten out here just a little bit, so we'll see if Dan Guerin's able to get a run on Christopher here going down the back straightaway. They're just kind of running by themselves right now in third and fourth. You have to go back a few seconds before you find the likes of Ron Hacker, Justin Weaver, and Michael Goodman. But it does look like Dan Guerin will be able to complete that pass here, at least for the moment. See if he's able to hold it. Going down to turn one.
The racing apparel, do they have like fireproof underwear, that kind of stuff there? It's like real clothes, right? It's not like
real clothes, yeah. And Andrew Kinsella is back on pit road.
Yeah, he's having some interesting pit stop strategies going on. That's his third stop. Also, Jason Galvin, well, he was hoping for that yellow. It never came, so he'll need to hope it stays green again until he gets that little window open up, about 10 laps for him to get back in the hunt. Remember, he's fast, qualified 7th. How about those qualifiers that are no longer part of the story? Dustin Wardlow in the Dewar's Candy Machine, he's out. He's our pole sitter. Galvin qualified 7th, a lap down. Kinsella in 9th, he's a lap down.
It's a big day for the movers. I mean, you got one direction or the other, and going the upper direction, that's going to be Christopher, who is made up 8 spots from where he started. You got Justin Weaver, who is up 8 spots as well. Mark Cohn, who's 12 spots from where he started. And one guy that I don't think we've talked about at all here tonight and started truly shotgun on the field because he didn't put down a qualifying time, Brian Beard has found himself up in 9th position after starting this race in 25th. So slow and steady sometimes win the race. And of course, one more as far as those frontboard movers, we got to bring up Sammy Ryman, who started this race in 19th. He's up to 10th.
There's Samuel. Racing out there in the Garden State Resort and Casino Machine.
Oh, is that what GSRC stands for?
That's what it is. I'm out of them now.
Okay. You have used up your season allotment of...
Oh, Let's go to 11th real quick as David Altman just took my breath away as he went under George Anzaldo, and Zaldo's going to return the favor. These guys swapping positions. Uh-oh, Kinsella.
Yeah, he just hit the wall again coming off turn 4. And
guess where he's spun?
Pit road. And kept it off everything down there. But he's out of the car this time. Not what Andrew Kinsella, he was having such a great night, and then just with the pit stops and everything else, just went away from him. And that's big there because, I mean, he was sitting, in 10th in the driver's standings here so far this season. And with how close it is, going back from about 5th all the way back to 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, he could actually lose a few spots here tonight out in the point standings.
Yep.
There.
You know, Galvin sits back there in 21st position, a lap down, but he can take solace in knowing he's the only driver who was able to spin it off a 4 and actually take it down pit lane without losing any time. So I guess that's a small prize for him.
Yeah, we unfortunately won't know if Andrew Kinsella ended up being hurt with all that. He might have also, with whatever was going on with his car and the pit stops and everything, he might have just decided it'd be better off to call tonight. He hasn't left the server yet, but his car's still sitting on pit road, driverless. Right now, we are watching Ron Hacker and Justin Weaver go at it. Coming out of 4, looking at Ron Hacker right now in front of Justin Weaver.
Justin Weaver dipping underneath, going to make that line work. Take over 5th position. Justin Weaver in a tight battle for the rookie championship over in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. He races next to Stephen Larkamp almost every race, those two rookies going at it. Justin probably feeling a little bit lonely here tonight as his racing partner Larkamp doesn't race in this series. Packer gets the spot back.
So far, out of our field at 25, we've had 3 confirmed retirees, that being Cody Eldred, James Brandt, and unfortunately, Dustin Wardlow is all that you saw earlier. And we have Andrew Kinsella sitting on pit road at the moment. Everybody else, the rest of the 21 cars, you only have 4 of those that are lapped down. Everybody else from 17th on board is all on the lead lap here tonight. So very competitive as we're hitting the, of course, 75 lap mark. Here we only got about 50 to go left in this 2018 Lionheart Retro Series season. And what a season it has been. And Soup, and teasing things a little bit here as we go into the post-race show and everything else. Some great things coming up for 2019, and looking forward to hearing about them.
Of course, that's the Plasma Tracks post-race show.
Another great place if you want to go look for something for Christmas or somebody. Dropping hints to the wife, who may or may not actually be listening.
Brian Yazik making a pit stop for those during the our break. Brian Yazik had internet connections problem. That's why he is no longer in the mix. But here we are with 49 to go. I can say safely that we are in the final pit stop window now. So anybody wants to come in now, you're good to go. Because nobody's going to pit under green flag conditions. And that takes us a quick look then to Jason Galvin, who's been out there for 15 laps. Means he would have to go 64 on a fuel load. That's not doable, Jason. So you've got some trouble ahead of you there.
So one thing to mention, as Adam Blocker continues to extend the lead over Alex Saunders. That lead is now up to 2.5 seconds. But as that has happened, Alex Saunders has really kind of fallen off. His car is not as performing as well as it did during the first stint. And I say that, but that may just be because Dan Garrett and Chris Stouffer, as they've been swapping the positions, have really just been gaining on Alex Saunders. Either Alex Saunders fall back or they're gaining on him. One or the other. Pick your poison there. But Alex Saunders does not want to lose any more spots, and he's got them getting ever so closer in his rearview mirrors.
Okay, now there's one thing that I want to talk about with Adam Blocker, and it's a little bit of what I like to call Rumpelstiltskin coming for the baby. He took a really short pit stop on his first stint. We think it's going to be kind of a pay me now, pay me later type thing. We think he's going to have a longer stop this time, and he actually may have to come in earlier before these guys. The difference in pit stop time was significant, about 3 seconds between him and Saunders.
Now, of course, as I was mentioning, that Alex Saunders, maybe he was falling back, maybe, or they were catching him while he just ran a sub 38-second lap. And we know that his car is not as light as what it was, but he definitely used that draft of that lap car there. That would be Robert Lewin to his advantage. He has set the world on fire before, but now, of course, that last time by ran a 38.255. A little bit slower than Adam Blocker.
There's the clip in that Apex onboard camera car going underneath Chris Stouffer. Trying to follow Guerin through for third position. I wonder if Alex Saunders realizes that we think Blocker's pit stop is going to come early and be a little bit longer. I'll be honest with you, Adam. I really wasn't paying much attention. Boy, look at how close that was.
Okay. We need
to that gap between Blocker and Saunders. Go ahead.
One of our biggest movers here tonight, Frank Beezer, just got into the backstretch wall, and his day is done after hard contact on the backstretch.
Because he spins off the racing line, as that's why he's well off the line, then he didn't bounce back up. So no yellow.
It was almost just like a momentary lapse in concentration, and that caused him dearly, as he was at the time one of our biggest movers here so far of the night.
A little bit of action in pit lane, some of the back markers coming in.
Yeah, one of those being Brian Beard, another big mover here tonight. Paul Jenkins is in.
The point I wanted to make on Blocker and Saunders, I wasn't so much worried about the interval because I just assumed, well, eventually we'll have a yellow flag and that gap isn't going to really matter much. But we're getting to the point now where we may see one where we go the distance. 44 to go.
And it's safe to say now that Alex Saunders is firmly fallen back into the clutches of Chris Stouffer and Dan Guerin. That's going to be a three-way battle here for second. In fact, here comes Chris Stouffer. He has a great run going down the front straightaway. Can't quite get alongside him going into turn one, but he'll maintain that middle line there coming off two in just a moment and see what he can do. Drops down to the inside. He'll snake around just a little bit. Alex Saunders goes high. This time, Chris Stouffer's going to take a look to the low side going down to turn three. And it's going to be able to come away. He's going to go ahead and clear Alex Saunders here. So move that Alex Saunders marker that you've got. Whatever you want to mark your own running order, you got to move him back a spot because he just fell back to third position. So come across the line here to complete lap 83. We are now on lap 84. These laps clicking away very quickly here, Soup. As you mentioned, we are now in the final pit stop window. Anybody that pits now can make it the rest of the way. It's just a question of when these guys are going to come down pit road.
Blocker has been out there for 33 laps. I'm going to take an estimate. I expect him to pit at lap 48 for him. That's 15 laps from now. I think everybody else is going to go a little bit farther. That means Blocker is going to find himself in jeopardy of having to pit, assuming we stay green, and being a lap down for a few laps. And boy, his championship hopes will be at risk during that time. Another thing that's happening now, Adam, is lap traffic coming around. There are a few guys that these guys are needing to go around a bit.
Yeah, so that's going to add to the mix here just a little bit. As we've seen, though, that could work in some guys' favor. Yeah. As I think that helped Alex Saunders stay up there for another lap or two when he caught that draft from Robert Lewin when they were lapping him.
On 15 cars now on the lead lap. There you go.
Yeah, on your screen now, Jake Wright, Chris Lanini, David Altman. David Altman, what a, he's a guy that's had some great runs here in the last few races of this season. Just gets hit by bad luck sometimes. And here tonight, he's kind of running mid-pack, but the car's clean, and I think that's the kind of night David Altman wants to have to kind of close out the season. I mean, I know he'd like to be up front, but at the end of the day, bringing it home in one piece can be just as well. Looking at Bart Workman now, that Skidmark Motorsports machine coming down pit road.
That
Most
is
likely
a
scheduled stop.
That's a pretty livery. Woohoo! I like that one. That one sparkles at you.
Now, while those guys have been racing here, Soup, Christopher Alex Saunders and Dan Guerin, they've been doing it and actually been able to go faster. And that means Adam Blocker's lead is slowly being chipped away at. It's now down to 2.2 seconds when it was 2.5 seconds. Now, that 0.3 of a second might not sound like a lot right now, but once we hit this final round of pit stops, that could mean the world. That could mean a championship. So we're going to have to see before this next round of pit stops how much that pack of three from second, third, and fourth gain on your leader, Adam Blocker. But the big thing I think Adam Blocker likes to see is that right now, I think he would have led the most laps out of everybody. Guess what? That's another 2 bonus points. And if it stays like that, I do believe that would mean that Alex Saunders has to finish 2 spots ahead of Adam Blocker.
Yeah, those are 4 big points. Again, that cushion of 2.2. Blocker's going to need all of that if my calculations are right. And he needs to stay in there a little bit longer because he didn't take a full load last time. Also, if he's out there with less fuel, in theory, he should be a little faster than these guys, a little bit lighter. We look at this guy. What Stouffer and Saunders and Guerin cannot do.
Here we go. Adam Blocker coming down pit road.
Boy, Soup knows his stuff.
Boy, you got your stopwatch out there, right, Soup?
I do. The problem is, I don't see these other guys needing to come in for at least another 12 laps. So right now, Adam Blocker is rolling the dice. If a yellow comes out, he is crushed. Yes, he will get to stay out and cycle around, but he'll be at the back of the line. He comes out.
And keep in mind, as he's coming out back onto the racetrack, he's on the apron right now, running through turns 1 and 2. Those guys behind him, that were behind him, are setting absolutely blistering laps. And that is time that it's going to be hard to do to catch up for here for Adam Blocker.
Here's the good news. He comes out still on the lead lap. He has nobody between him and the 3 cars that are coming. As I say that, Brian Yozik, he goes underneath him. Crossing the line now, and the leaders cross the line now. So that's the interval between being lapped.
Oh, big time game changer.
There it is. But this might be okay.
Might be Bart Workman.
There.
He goes into turn 1, and he just gets off the gas and goes back down. I don't know if it's some sort of mechanical failure or something, but the yellow only came back out because he just barely drifted back onto the track. I think he was trying to get off the track for some reason, Sue.
Yeah. There's the hardware, and he tries to save it. Now he brings it back out. I got to get my head around a 2-mile oval racetrack. This is almost road course racing strategy, and I got to apologize to Blocker. This is actually going to work out for him, as he was able to stay on the lead lap. He doesn't need to come in. Everybody else is going to have to come in. He'll cycle back out to the front. Adam, my apologies. You know what you're doing. Of course, if he didn't get out in front of these guys, it would have been another story. And boy, that's where that cushion that he had really mattered.
Whew. The thing is, though, is that now everybody's going to be bunched back up, and always have to think about the old oval axiom, cautions breed cautions. And now that we've had one, Are we going to see more? I don't know, Soup, but I think with all that is on the line here for tonight, I think things are getting ready to pick up here at Auto Club. And I think we're going to be really in tune for an exciting end of this Lionheart Championship 250 as we are looking now at everybody coming down pit road. It's all your leaders there except Adam Blocker.
What a difference it makes that he was able to stay out on the lead lap and get out in front of these guys, needing that cushion that he had really helped him. He is first, and it's even going to get better for him. He's got Brian Yazek behind him. Maybe Brian will come in. Maybe we'll have a little bit of extra cushion there between the guys that he's racing with. First out, Alexander.
All right, so depending on if we had any surprises up there, stay out. I think we just had a few guys like Robert Blue and Jason Galvin up there now. Paul Jenkins, Ryan Beard. So, yeah, Adam Blocker is going to start in lead here. So, hey, we'll sort out the running order right after this break here on GSRC.
The Sim Pit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The Sim Pit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for The Sim Pit.
Welcome back to the Lionheart Championship 250 here at Auto Club Speedway. Go back to green, but before we do, we want to talk about another one of our sponsors, Butt Kicker. If you're a sim racer looking to add that missing driver-to-car connection, bringing more realism to your sessions, Butt Kicker products are the way to go. A Butt Kicker moves actual mass, producing a haptic immersion that's powerful and accurate. See all a family of products at thebuttkicker.com. Use the promo code LION20 to get 20% off your order. And Soup pace car is off. Adam Blocker's on the loud pedal. We are away after our first yellow flag of the night. I am seeing Alex Saunders blinking. Oh, boy. Looks like he's stable now as far as his connection. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. But Adam Blocker in the lead. Alex Saunders in second. Christopher and Dan Guerin. That's your top four right now. Dan Guerin looking to make an outside move here on Christopher. And don't forget, we were talking about him here soon. Samuel Ryman up to fifth.
Yeah, losing the position. I think Justin Weaver trying to go underneath him. Ryman doing a good job in that red and white machine up front. Oh, in the wall! That's Stouffer, and he loses it.
Oh, is he going to come back on track? He's able to keep it off the track. One car incident right at the front of the pack. I mean, heartbreak for Christopher in the way he was running, but a miracle that everybody stayed off of him.
Oh, he was going to
breed cautions.
He was going to bounce into Guerin on the inside. I really thought Guerin his days were numbered on this one. Boink, and here he comes, and somehow Stouffer gets the car turned back up into the wall, then springs down underneath everybody. They all get around him.
Samuel Ryman about saw any chance of that cleanest driver award go away with the span of about a foot. We turn this camera around, look out his rear wing here, and it gets exciting for him. He's watching. It's way closer than what he wanted to be to that.
Well, you don't get the clean driver award by not knowing how to avoid trouble.
I mean, it's just heartbreak for Chris Stouffer, though. He has ran a terrific race, was looking to be in contention at the end of this thing, and now his night is over as he's officially retiring from the race. You know one guy, though, that really benefits from this, and he's coming down pit road right now, Jason Galvin, officially welcome back to the lead lap.
Oh, that is a serious effort that he put in there. Getting that Quaker State car back on the lead lap. All right, and we talked about it with those bonus points. I think all the points that Blocker has wrapped up, I think that's going to buy him a position. I think if Saunders wins this thing, I think Saunders needs a car between him and Blocker to get the championship.
He does, and it's in the top three. Keep in mind, because the points differential is going to be 10 points between first and second, and another 10 points between second and third. It decreases a little bit back behind that after the podium. So if they are on the podium, Alex Saunders, if things stay the way they are right now, he has to win, and Adam Blocker has to finish third. And that would give him a 20-point differential, because right now I think Adam Blocker, if things stay the way they are right now, is going to come away with this thing well in hand. But if Alex Saunders, if they were to flip, I think that it would be a correct, and I might be wrong on this, so this is bad math. I'm going to pull soup here. I think it would be a 1-point win for Adam Blocker over Alex Saunders if they were to flip positions right now. And of course, the worst phrase in sport racing that you mentioned here, Soup, if the race were to end right now.
Well, the scenario that you just talked about, though, is not unreasonable, and because of one name, and that is Dan Guerin. If there was just these two guys racing by themselves, it would not be, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting. But Guerin has the ability not only to finish second, but to win this thing.
Guerin has himself a little hot rod tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we're in California. We can talk about hot rods, birthplace of hot rods. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Can he get up there and get in the mix on this? Or is he just going to realize, I mean, obviously he wants to win a race, but if it came down to it, would he get involved in the championship battle? I mean, he's obviously going to be aware of it. And don't count out Justin Weaver. I mean, he hasn't shown the speed yet this race to really run completely up front, but he surprised us before. And we know Ron Hacker and Michael Goodman have the pace. And can't forget Samuel Ryman. Samuel Ryman's just kind of up there lurking right now.
Well, I think the answer to Dan Guerin's question, if he were to pose it to the two guys in front of him, do you want me involved in this? Adam Blocker would probably say, "Not Dan, why don't you sit this one out?" Alex Saunders probably saying, "Yeah, come on up here and race with us." So
absolutely.
Saunders needs Darren Guerin to finish second behind Saunders. Don't forget Weaver, Ryman, and Hacker. How about those three guys?
I mean, Ryman's just up there lurking, and we know Michael Goodman. Michael Goodman's already won at Michigan this year, so we know he can do it. It's just going to be a question, but we still got about 25 laps here to answer all the questions. We're coming down to complete lap 99. We're moving on to lap 100. Adam Blocker in the lead as the green flag is back out. Alex Saunders in second, Dan Guerin in third, Justin Weaver in fourth position. Behind them, they're starting to spread out a little bit. Obviously, for most of the rest of the race, folks, probably going to be up front as our championship contenders are running 1-2 right now here at Auto Club.
I think the Moby's Dickey car of Justin Weaver in fourth has potential to get in the mix as well. Not so sure about Ryman in fifth and Ron Hacker in sixth. But I do think Weaver's got the legs. Look at this up front.
This is exactly what Dan Guerin and Justin Weaver want to see. They want to see these two fight side by side. They're going wheel to wheel. Championship 1-2, running 1-2 side by side at Auto Club. Alex Saunders going to dip down. He's going to try to pinch Adam Blocker just a touch. These guys are gentlemen racers. They understand how to race hard, but race close and stay off each other. They're going to need every little bit of that, as everything is on the line here for these guys. A race win, a championship win, lots of prizes, a new set of pedals. All that's going to be decided here over the next 25 laps. Alex Saunders is going to be edging Adam Blocker here, going down the back straightaway. Right now, that would not be enough for the championship. Here comes Dan Guerin and Justin Weaver. They're inching their way in. Woo, I think Adam Blocker's tail just tried to step out just a touch. I think he's okay.
Dead even crossing the line that time. Here's another scenario for you. It's important to lead the lap. If Saunders and Blocker were to get together and they end up finishing 15th or 16th, well, then the interval between them changes, and Saunders wouldn't need that gap. So he needs to lead the lap so he gets the benefit of the re-grid or the seating if they were to crash out on the same lap. Look at this going on.
This is about as hard as racing you're going to see between these two. As we keep mentioning, and we're going to keep mentioning, everything is on the line. 3 thousandths of a second. Alex Saunders over Adam Blocker that time by. Adam Blocker's going to slide up just in front of Alex Saunders. Had to lift off just a little bit as the car was pushing. That's going to give Alex Saunders a good run here going down the back straightaway and going into 3. It also allows Dan Guerin to get a good run. Justin Weaver is right there. And don't forget Ron Hacker. He's hanging on to the back end of this top 5.
The guy you got to watch is Guerin. Is he going to play? Don't be surprised. Don't let what happens now. Guerin could easily sit back here and just watch this for the next 21 laps. As we got 22 laps to go. He may save it to the very end.
Oh, they almost touched there, coming off too. Just get ready to say, Adam Blocker's car is looking a little bit on the tight side there in 1 and 2. Dan Guerin dropping down. He's going to try to use that draft coming off Adam Blocker for the moment. They'll drift up high, really trying to get those good runs off the corners. He's going to go ahead and maybe take a look here to the outside of Alex Saunders. Kind of a little bit of a staggered 3 wide there going down the front straightaway.
The retro season, season 2, we got it.
Alex Saunders doing every little bit, trying to sniff every little bit of draft he can off Adam Blocker there while still running side by side with him. Very technical right now for those guys coming off a 2, playing with the air, using it every little bit of advantage that they can and disadvantage to everybody else around them. This is racing on Auto Club Speedway, folks. This is exactly what these guys are made to do, and that's exactly the type of racing that this car brings to the table. And you're going to see it all play out here as these guys have got it all on the line.
20 to go. We need the funk. Gotta have that funk. Put on your disco shoes, baby. 40 miles.
Barring no cautions, we're going to know who is going to be your champion in the next 12 to 13 minutes here. I almost just want to stop talking. I almost just want to sit back and watch this thing, but man, this is exciting. Alex Saunders almost edged out Adam Blocker on that one. Almost, but Adam Blocker nipped him by 11 thousandths of a second. For you Christopher fans, he has officially called it a day after that accident. So, unfortunate for him. He had such a great run running up front. But now he was running with Dan Guerin, and Dan Guerin looking to try to steal a race win from your championship contenders here. Christopher should have been up there. Unfortunately, circumstances did not dictate that here for tonight.
Weaver, Hacker, and Ryman looking on from 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Well, there's Adam Blocker getting a little tight again. He's going to lose a lot of time coming off too. Give the solid lead to Alex Saunders. He's going to have to fight off Dan Guerin now. Dan Guerin and Adam Blocker running side by side. Alex Saunders now in that premium spot, but Adam Blocker got a good run going down the back straightaway. Tries to nose in there, can't quite do it. He's going to have a good run coming here off to 4. He's going high. Oh, think he realized the last second that Dan Guerin was there. He drops back down to the inside. This is exactly what Alex Saunders wants to see in his rear view mirror. Exactly what he needs to see.
This is the scenario, except the Blocker's going to go underneath. Watch the run from Guerin now.
It's Alex Saunders. If the race, I know Soup hates it and I hate it too, but if the race were to end right now, Adam Blocker would still be your champion. But that difference between being a champion and not a champion for Alex Saunders all hinges on Dan Guerin at this very moment. And if it were to end right now, that would mean he would have lost that championship by 20 hundredths of a second. So just keep that in mind, how close this thing is going to be here as we come down to the wire. If these guys keep running the way they are right now. Adam Blocker running very high through 1 and 2, loses a lot of time. He's going to drop down in front of Dan Guerin. Already seeing a lot of weaving going on back there. He's trying to break the draft. Look at those guys gain on Alex Saunders, though, once they get in line. Folks, we've got 7 cars in the lead pack right now, and if things get crazy, any one of those 7 cars could win this race.
Blocker playing defense, trying to protect the inside line. Guerin had a peek to the high side. Now Blocker with a run. Weaver is in striking distance if these guys blunder.
Don't think for a second that Adam Blocker hasn't done the math in his head about how the points will work out. He knows what he needs to do to win this championship. Same with Alex Saunders. The wild card, the wild cards belong to Dan Guerin, Justin Weaver, Ron Hacker, Samuel Ryman, Michael Goodman. And don't forget, George Insaldo back there running in 8th position. Great night for George Insaldo.
Saunders tight on the inside like a small pair of Fruit of the Looms. Here comes the run from Guerin, nowhere to put it.
See that as soon as Alex Saunders slid up in front of the field, it almost acted like a big wall of air for Adam Blocker. He's able to push through. He has a good run. Dan Guerin once again looks to the outside. These guys starting to search around for that clean air, doing whatever they can to keep that air moving over the front wing of their Lotus 79 machine.
I think Guerin's going to have to do it 3 wide. I don't think Blocker's going to leave him an opportunity. Even if Guerin gets underneath him, I think Blocker's going to have him pinned behind Saunders. Here comes the run for Guerin, but Blocker pulls out. And Guerin, the only way is to do it 3 wide on the top, and Blocker knows it.
Yeah, he's definitely letting him know that he knows it too right there. You saw that outside move. If Adam Blocker can finish 1 or 2, championship is his. Alex Saunders needs to win, and for Adam Blocker to finish 3rd or back, 4 further back. And again, that is just rudimentary math. We're trying to do it while we're running here. So, of course, none of it's official until George Insaldo comes in here and tells us who's the champion at the end of this thing.
Saunders.
Guys are 3 wide, trying there once again.
Saunders might need to leave the inside open for Guerin. That may be the only way for Guerin to get around and in the mix. Keep Blocker pinned up and see if he can let Guerin get underneath him and then fight Guerin off.
And of course, Adam Blocker just wants to get out in front of Alex Saunders and just seal it all away.
It's hard to imagine that this racetrack is not wide enough, but it isn't. Guerin just can't do it. Here comes the dive underneath. Let's see if he goes down and sees if he can get underneath Saunders here. Nope.
Saunders has that car pinned to the white line. But like what Adam Blocker was doing there for a few laps, he's done it long enough now. I think his tires are heated up enough that I think the car's starting to push just a touch. He's starting to lose some time coming off those corners. Now I say he's starting to lose some time. Everybody up there right now is running sub 38-second lap times. We're seeing some of our fastest laps of the race happening right now, the end of the season.
Weaver back there right in the gearbox of Guerin, hoping to get Guerin some momentum. Is Guerin giving you everything he's got, or is he just trying to figure out where it is and waiting for the last lap?
For what it's worth, lap traffic should not play a role. Brian Yazik is the first car they would come up on, and he's like over half a track in front of these guys. So we are good on that end. They are got to settle this race between them. Dan Guerin taking another look to the outside. Adam Blocker moves up to block. Justin Weaver right there.
Well, Adam, we asked if Guerin was.
Oh.
Yeah, look.
I was going to say that. I think that was Dan Guerin's opportunity to maybe try to get to the bottom.
Would not be the worst thing for Saunders to give Guerin a little bit of room. We were wondering if Guerin was going to play. I think he's playing. I think he's giving it all he's got.
Saunders edging out Adam Blocker here, going down one. They get a little close again, coming off two. Don't want to lock wheels. You're going 190 miles an hour. Get a little close again, going down to three. It's only going to get closer from here, folks. 7 laps to go, coming to 6 to go.
Gets a draft off of both of them, and now he goes to the top side, but it's just too long a route. They almost touch.
A big run by Adam Blocker there. Dan Guerin has just as good of a run, but he has to let off. Alex Saunders has the momentum there, coming off 4.
Boy, Guerin slid up behind Blocker, took my breath away. How about the patience of Justin Weaver and Ron Hacker back there just watching on?
You always like to call that the popcorn spot,
Yeah.
Soup, and that definitely fits, because if the action starts popping, they'll be the ones to take advantage of it. We're down to 5 laps to go here in the 2018 Lionheart Retro Series season. Running side by side for first and second, your 2 championship contenders. If the race were to end right now, I know, horrible phrase, but if it were, Adam Blocker would be your champion while Alex Saunders your race winner. Dan Guerin's trying to get in the mix, see what he has to say about that.
Seen this before, it just doesn't go up there. Then he tries to get some momentum coming down the hill.
I expect Dan Guerin to make his move with probably about 2 to go. And I think what he's doing right now is, I think his tire is going to be the best out of all these guys here. I think a lot of what he's doing right now, yeah, he's trying to sniff out weaknesses, I think, in Adam Blocker. And he's getting ready to pounce. And that's going to make things very interesting here on the last 2 laps. As we're coming to 3 to go.
I think out of 2, he's going to dive it in deep into 3 on the low side. I think that's the thing he is feeling out right now. Is how quickly I can get a run out of 2 and get underneath Saunders.
Starting to watch Saunders starting to get that little push that we were talking about a few minutes ago. They're now down to 37.8 lap second times. They're coming to 2 to go. These guys are absolutely flying in these Lotus 79s. Going into turn 1, they're going 195, 196 miles an hour and staying inches off of each other. Ooh, Alex Saunders almost drifts back up into Adam Blocker. Adam Blocker almost drifts down to him. They're playing with the draft a little bit. Alex Saunders trying to make sure he doesn't get all the way too close to Adam Blocker. This is where Dan Guerin needs to start making his move. Alex Saunders has that car pinned on the white line. This is his best lead yet here in the last couple laps over Adam Blocker, but that's just allowed Adam Blocker to get that momentum. White flag is out on the 2018 Lionheart Retro Series season. Coming to the line in just about 30 seconds. Who is going to win the championship? Who's going to win this race? Don't know. They're that close. Dan Guerin doing everything he can to try to make something happen here on the last lap. Going down the back straightaway, trying to get some form of momentum. Adam Blocker is edging out Alex Saunders going into turn 3. Going through turn 4. Alex Saunders gets a little bit of a lead. Alex Saunders coming to the line side by side with Adam Blocker. Alex Saunders is going to get this race. Adam Blocker is going to be your 2018 Lionheart Retro Series champion. Woohoo! What a race. Let's see here, coming to the line. Dan Guerin does everything he can to try to get that spot away from Adam Blocker. Your final margin of victory was 36 hundredths of a second.
At a tip of the hat to all the drivers that weren't involved in that race for having this finish under green. Good job, gentlemen.
Very, very clean race. Everybody was respectful about what was going on with the championship, but still trying to run their race. And that's exactly what Dan Guerin did, gave Adam plenty of room. And that was... that leaves me speechless almost. Very happy for Adam Blocker to come in and win the championship. Alex Saunders with another race win on the season. I'm looking forward to some 2019, but we're not done with 2018 quite yet. We're going to be back with the Plasma Tracks Victory Post Race Show in just a moment. Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway, and a fantastic race with a cap on a fantastic 2018 season. In that final race win of the season, his efforts tonight cannot be diminished. Did everything he needed to do. Alex Saunders coming away with the race win in that P1 spot tonight. I'll give you a full rundown here in just but Adam Blocker, your champion here, coming home in second, Dan Guerin in third, Ron Hacker in fourth, Justin Weaver in fifth, George Anzaldo in sixth position. George, great night tonight. Michael Goodman in seventh, Jason Galvin in eighth, Jake Wright in ninth, Mark Cohn in 10th position, Soup. So big movers up there.
David Altman, Brian Beard, and Chris Lanini. Travis Jageliner round out the last four drivers on the lead lap. We at GSRC pride ourselves in covering the whole field, but when it's the final race and we have a championship battle like we had up front, we put our attentions up there. 15th through 20th. How about Paul Jenkins, Robert Blue, and Samuel Ryman was having such a good run, he falls back in trouble. Brian Yosick in 18th, Chris Stouffer in 19th, rounding out your top 20. Bart Workman. I'll just finish these up here. Frank Beezer, Andrew Kinsella, Cody Eldred, James Brandt, and the Candyman race sponsor, Dustin Wardlow, in last, 107 laps behind the leaders. Okay, Adam.
Yeah, and of course, you are watching the Plasma Tracks Victory Lane post-race show here on GSRC. If you're struggling to find something for the person who has everything, do I have the website for you? Plasma-Tracks.com not only produces original racetrack wall art, motorsports trophies, home decor, and motorsport fabrication, well, they're also available. Words cannot do justice to the uniqueness of their wares. The only way to fully appreciate their artwork is to see it for yourself. But be warned, one visit, and the next thing you know, you'll be trying to convince your spouse why you need a Plasma Track wall art hanging in your home. See it all at plasma-tracks.com. In Soup, of course, Alex Saunders did everything he needed to do tonight, but it wasn't enough. Adam Blocker coming away with the championship, and I believe you're going to catch up with him.
And we'll bring Alex down in here so we can talk with him in a minute.
Adam, we'll bring our champion, Adam Blocker, down.
Oh, we have Adam Blocker. I didn't realize we had him. Okay, I get to talk to Adam. Hey, Adam, we've done the math here. You've done the math. We think you are the champion. Can you confirm that with those bonus points?
Yeah, I think it's an Alan Quickie 1992 in NASCAR. Yeah, I had all the math done before the race coming in, and I knew if Alex and I were even on bonus points that he could beat me if he won and I finished second, or he finished second and I finished third. But if I led the most laps, I would beat him. So that definitely influenced my pit strategy. I short filled the first time to lead a bunch of laps in the middle of the race. And I was also really aggressive at the beginning of the race to lead a lot of laps because I wanted to get the most laps led. And I did that. I got kind of lucky with a caution, but even if that one caution hadn't come out, the first caution of the race, I think I still would have won because Stouffer and Guerin probably would have been 1-2, and then Saunders and I would have been 3-4, and it wouldn't have mattered the order. So, yeah, it was all about leading laps.
Yeah, we thought the key to that was you getting out still on the lead lap after the pit stop. I thought was important.
Yeah, that was important, but I knew going in, especially if you short filled, that I would get out on the lead lap. So I knew, so if we were at a track like, let's say, Iowa or something like that, where you lose a lap when you pit, then no, I would never have done that, strategy, because you could lose it all by just a yellow coming out. So
we got to hustle through this because we have a big post-race show coming up, but I got to ask you about Dan Guerin. You had to be thinking about keeping him pinned back there because that was the buffer you needed.
Yeah, I was super worried about Dan. Number one, because I know, Dan's a really good driver, and if he had a chance, he was going to take it and he was going to make the most of it. And number two, I had the situation that I wanted. Even though Alex was probably going to win the race, I knew second was all I needed. So I was really nervous about Dan making it 3 wide, especially if he was on the inside. I wasn't worried about him on the outside. I was worried about him on the inside. So I was trying to pinch Alex down, not only just to hurt the run of Alex, but also to make sure that it would be too narrow of a gap for Dan to be able to really try anything. So it was a really interesting dynamic, and that's what I was definitely nervous about, was Dan. So.
Okay, well, don't go far because we have awards to hand out, but we're going to put you out of the booth for a minute. See you in a little while.
Yeah, see you soon.
Adam Blocker, second place finisher today, season 2 champion. Adam?
Yeah, Alex Saunders, just fantastic drive here tonight. You had a great season, and I think I say for everybody, we're looking for big things from you in 2019. Are you going to be back in the Retro Series next year?
If I am, it looks like it'll only be part-time because my schedule's awful. So this is a disappointing way to put a bow on it, you know.
Well, still, you know, second in one of the premier series in iRacing, still nothing to shake your head at. And hey, you came away with a big race win here for tonight too, and probably one of the most competitive races we've seen here for this season. And I got to ask, how much attention were you paying to the points battle, or were you just driving your race?
I mean, I knew what all the points situations were, and I knew when Adam got out in front after that pit stop and just stayed out there that was gonna cause a problem, and sure enough, it did. I mean, I figured it was going to be really difficult to go out there and lead all the laps. So early on, I was just kind of riding around. I wanted to get the bonus points for leading one and then just be set up at the end. And I mean, it almost worked. So.
Well, almost, right? I know that can be a hard one to stomach, is sometimes that word almost. But hey, great job tonight. Great job on the 2018 campaign. As I'm understanding it, you don't go very far because they've got some awards for you, and we're gonna have you back here in just a few minutes.
Cool. Thanks,
All
guys.
right. So that was Alex Saunders, your winner here for the Lionheart Championship 250, and I believe Soup's going to catch up with Dan Guerin.
Quick interview with Dan Guerin, and then we'll take a short break before we go to the award show. Dan, my goodness, you did everything you could. The track just not wide enough, and that's hard to believe here at Auto Club.
Yeah, I tried to spoil the party there, if you couldn't tell. I wanted that win. I didn't have a whole lot going for me this season, but yeah, I wanted that win pretty bad for my sponsor and everybody, and I'm glad that at least I got to battle it out to the very end, but dang it, I had a chance.
You could get underneath Blocker, but he would pin you.
Yeah, he's annoying our team. Oh, you guys got to be...
Times getting towards the very end there that Alex would give up the bottom, and I could easily swipe down right underneath them both and made it 3 wide at the bottom and just really messed things up. But I figured if I did that, I had a chance to push up the track, and I just didn't want to force that kind of an issue.
Good sportsmanship from you. Hey, stick around because we're going to talk to you again in a minute as we do the award show. Congratulations on putting on a good show tonight.
Thanks a lot, Soup.
Dan Guerin, your third place finisher today, and boy, he was really coming on strong at the end of the season. Okay, Adam.
Yeah, he really was, and of course, great drive here for tonight, up front all night long. So with that, hey, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we've got some big awards to hand out. You're not going to want to miss this. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway for the Plasma Tracks Victory Lane post-race show. And of course, right now, the end of the season show, as we've got some awards to hand out. And we've got series organizer here, George Inzaldo. George, I believe you're going to present to our season champion.
Well, on behalf of the Lionheart series, our sponsors, we'd like to congratulate Adam Blocker on a very, very hard-fought season. Adam Blocker, congratulations for being our 2018 Retro Series champion. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you, George. Definitely want to first and foremost thank all the league organizers for the great work they do, and all the league sponsors like HPP and Butt Kicker and Plasma Tracks and the rest of the sponsors for making this league what it is as well. And I also want to thank Alex Saunders for the absolutely amazing fight we had all season. I mean, it was pretty much as close as it could be. A lot of close racing, and I don't think we ever had an incident really between us. So that says something for as much racing as we did next to each other. So and I want to thank my team, Adrenaline Motorsports, for the support throughout the season. Yeah, especially Chris and Andrew tonight for helping me out. So yeah, thanks to everyone.
And next up, I think Brian Yazik has something for our season champion.
Yeah, they let me talk here at the end. Adam, you drove an amazing season. 5 wins, 15 top 5s, and 15 top 10s, a mark of consistency, and it was incredible to watch from our side as well. And I want to say on behalf of Mark and HPP Simulations, congratulations. HPP Simulation is the premier name in sim racing products, and you are the premier driver in the Lionheart Retro Series. Congratulations, Adam. Enjoy your championship, and most importantly, enjoy those new pedals that are coming your way.
I definitely will. I need a hardware upgrade, so definitely look forward to using those HPP.
And now I think we've got something very special, and that's going to be the HPP Simulation Driver of the Year Award. And I'm going to turn it back over to Brian and George for that.
It's very proud for me to represent HPP in the manner that I do. HPP Simulation is also very proud to present the Retro Driver of the Year. HPP prides itself on quality above all else. And honestly, George tipped me on who we're getting for this, and I can't think of any more of a quality individual. So, George, please take that one away.
Thanks for setting this up, Brian, and thanks again, HPP, for all their sponsorship this season. So for 2018, I would like to announce and award Dustin Wardlow the HPP Simulation Driver of the Year. Dustin, congratulations. First off, I just want to say you've been an amazing member of this league. You've been a supporter, a contributor, and you've been a amazing competitor. Just a great person on and off the track. You exemplify what Lionheart is all about, and we cannot hope just to have more members just like yourself. And for that, we'd like to thank you and award you the Driver of the Year for 2018 Retro Series.
I'm totally shocked. Okay, so first off, I got to leave the race a little sooner than you guys, so I've been drinking in tears. Or I'm not allowed to do that. You guys are killing me here. Thank you. I don't know what to say. I've really enjoyed Lionheart immensely. I've dabbled in iRacing for a long time before I found you guys, and it was a blessing. Allowed me to enjoy something I was eager to keep doing and kept getting put off of it for one reason or another. And now I'm sorry there's a break in the season. I hope I like though that we all stay in touch. We all meet up as often as we can. I've met an amazing group of guys here over these last couple of years, and I'm honored. I don't know what to say when solid people have nice things to say and compliments. It is this is as good as a championship win for me. Thank you guys very much.
Congratulations, Dustin.
Yeah, and I'll say something here for GSRC that Dustin, good job, buddy, and pleasure having you. We'll see you next year too, and maybe you can get it twice in a year in a row. But next up, George, I believe you actually have the next 2 awards, and they're both going to the same individual. So 2 birds with 1 stone here.
All right, so up first is going to be our Butt Kicker Rookie of the Year, and that title is going to go to Alex Saunders. obviously coming into the series, we saw your skills and your competitiveness on track. You're obviously one of the top tier drivers in iRacing, and you put on an amazing show, an amazing fight in this championship season. Regardless, it was your rookie season, and you just really ran away with it. So Butt Kicker is our presenting sponsor for the Rookie of the Year, and on behalf of Butt Kicker and all of the sponsorship that they've done for us this year, we'd like to award you the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, thanks. It was a fun league. Obviously, with the final standings, I wish I had joined one race sooner. But it's been a blast racing with all you guys. Adam and Dustin and Michael and Justin, and we've had some great runs. And I know we had a big rookie class here since this was only the second season, so it was neat to compete with everybody. And I do watch all the broadcasts the next day, so I'm excited to see all about Soup's favorite word, the heptic immersion. So yeah, thanks to everybody.
Awesome. So along with that, we also had a couple other prizes that were put up, sponsored by Butt Kicker, and that was the 2018 P1 award. So along with your Rookie of the Year title, Butt Kicker is presenting you with your choice of a game or two or simulation kit. And they also put up for the driver that had the most wins and the most poles. So in total, you've actually swept the prizes that Butt Kicker provided for the Retro Series. So you'll actually have three Butt Kickers coming your way. So one more and you'll have a full set for your rig.
Hey,
but
good
congratulations. Congratulations.
I hope I don't have to have 3 speeches prepared, because that was about it.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Good job. I think you're good, Alex. Hey, congratulations. And I believe up next for the Clipping That Apex award, we've got the team champions and Dave Cordy here.
Yeah. So great season, fantastic season. Congratulations to Adam and Alex. Just fantastic. For the team championships, we're looking at wins and points and bonus points and everything. And at the end of the day, the winner is Raven Motors. So that's George, that's new dad, Jason Galvin, Dustin Wardlow, Sam Ryman, and Travis. Congratulations, guys! You, the group of you, just fantastic from beginning to end. Just fantastic team performance. You guys did great. Congratulations.
I don't think we ever decided who the designated speaker is on the team. This could be bad.
I don't think we did. Yeah, it's going to be rambling right now.
I mean, I don't mind. These guys were hard fighting all season long. We designed the team with strengths on ovals and roads. We tried to basically just have a very nice, evenly balanced team. We came out of the gates running, and we had an amazing battle with adrenaline early on. And then right at the midway point, 8-Ball dominated at Indy and kind of put us against the wall. And so we just went forward and never gave up and kept trying to keep our lead. And we just edged them here at the end. And it was a really, really exciting season. Really happy for the team. These guys are the best guys to race with. It's just been a really fun season. Winning any championship in Lionheart is something special and certainly not easy. So this one, I think I speak for everyone. It really means a lot to us. So we appreciate it, and we have a lot of respect for the guys that were racing with us all season long. So thank you.
And next up, and I'll say I think this is one of my favorite awards that you guys do, because not only is it just a title, but I mean, you actually have a lot on the line for it, and that is going to be the Cleanest Driver Award, presented tonight by Lock Precision and Dave Cordy.
Yeah, this is a fantastic award. From the Indy, from the other series, from the IndyCar series, having personally torpedoed the winner at the Motegi Road, I just know how clean of a driver it is. But after 16 races, a total of 17 incidents, 17 incidents. Like I get that just walking to the refrigerator. And, for an incident average of 1.06 incidents per race, the 2018 cleanest driver for Retro is no shock to anybody. It's Chris Lanini. Fantastic season, dude. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was trying to think of something witty while I was sitting here waiting, but to get the cleanest driver, it's a matter of driving safely, obviously, but also you need to be in a league where people drive safely around you and where you can learn to trust those people. So I'd like to thank everybody in the league for putting on good shows, not wrecking all the time. I'm really happy. I get kind of at a loss for words.
Well, congratulations there, Chris, and hey, maybe you can repeat on that one next year as well. And next up, hey, we're going back to Dave for the Iron Man Award.
Well, he's our champ. So Iron Man is most, just the most mileage completed. Well, he's also got the most laps and the most points. So 1,660 laps, 2,809 miles, almost 100 more than the next closest driver. Our 2018 champion is also our Ironman winner, Adrenaline's own Adam Blocker. Congratulations. Great season.
Yeah, thank you. I think winning the Ironman kind of sums up my championship. Is just about consistency and, making the most of bad days and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think winning the Ironman is pretty fitting for this championship for me.
Congratulations, Adam. And now we've got George, and he's going to have the Cleanest Team Award presented by Graphics.
Hi, guys. This is actually kind of funny. I don't know exactly who the cleanest team is. We're kind of calculating the points here, and we're figuring it out. But we can go ahead and do the turning point, actually, if you don't mind, while we get that.
Hey, still presented by Graphics and still
correct
by you. So let's go for it.
All right. So the turning point is an award that we basically track a driver's performance in the first half of the season, and then we monitor it throughout the second half and kind of compare the two. We don't look at exactly all the numbers, but we look at just again how is this driver competing, and we kind of used all of our data and collectively talked amongst the admin team, and after a talk we'd like to award Samuel Ryman with this year's Turning Point Award presented by Graphics.
Thank you, George. Yeah, that's definitely a positive cap to end the day on after how that race ended. So I very much appreciate that. I've got to admit, at the start of this year, I definitely thought I was going through a bit of a sophomore slump. I wasn't able to get the performances I was last year, and it took me to the middle of the season to I got a bit new equipment, but also get a bit of confidence back. And I take notes on every single race. I'm very organized. I like to go back and work out, okay, you know what, this is my second year in this championship. What can I be doing better? And I'll tell you right now, at the end of this race, it's do math better because I needed 7 gallons of fuel, not 6 gallons. I worked that out about 5 laps left to go. But no, I really do appreciate walking out of this race, and I appreciate that all you guys recognize that I was definitely picking it up towards the end of the season, and hopefully look to build on that momentum in 2019.
Congratulations, Samuel and George. I guess. It balls in your court on this one. Do you want to talk about the what we have up next, or do you want to go back to the Cleanest Driver Team Award here?
We think it's Raven, but we're checking all the data. So, yeah.
I guess we'll have the official announcement later. So
Absolutely.
I guess I will turn it over to you and this is going to be one thing I'm looking forward to. Where are we going in 2019?
All right. Well, first of all, we certainly want to announce that the Lionheart Retro Series and the IndyCar Series will be back with GSRC again in 2019. You guys have been the best. We've loved working alongside with you. You guys have brought amazing coverage to our races, and we can't thank you enough. So with that, we're going to start season 3 off here. We're going to start off with their all-star race on February 21st. We're actually going to run it in the Charlotte Oval, so I think that's going to be really exciting. Round 1 will take us traditionally to Homestead, as we always do, and we're going to, again, start picking up on the road courses with Watkins Glen and Sebring. We'll head over to Phoenix for round 4, Motegi Oval in round 5. Gateway will lead us off to the end of the first third of the season. Pocono, our first Triple Crown, will be round 7. And we're actually going to go to Imola for round 8. So we have a new road course for 2019. Not new to the series as we ran in IndyCar, but we're excited to bring Imola over to the retro side. Barber Motorsports Park for round 10. We're going to have our Indy 250, round 11, Indianapolis, August 29th. We're going to go head over to Mosport for round 12, back to the big oval at Michigan for round 13. And we head again to another Lionheart favorite, Iowa, for round 14. And then we're going to finish it up strong on the road with rounds 15, 16, 17, Road America, Sonoma Raceway, and Laguna Seca. And then again, we'll have our championship finale at Auto Club Speedway on December 19th, 2019. So we're really looking forward again to another exciting season in Lionheart. Again, we're looking for drivers. So if there's drivers out there who want to compete in this series and want to compete with the rest of the drivers in Lionheart, please check us out, lionheartracingseries.com. Fill out an application, and maybe you'll be with us on the track in 2019. So on behalf of myself and the admin team and all the drivers, we want to thank GSRC, all the sponsors that signed up for 2019, and all of the people who have watched our races. So again, we thank you, and looking forward to a great 2019. Thank you.
Well, I believe I'll speak for us on our end too, that you, George, and your entire crew, pleasure to work with. You guys help make our job easy with the kind of information that we get from y'all, and it really helps the quality of our broadcast. And you don't discount what you guys do on your end too, between the media guides and some of the intel that we get from your drivers beforehand and everything else. I mean, you guys set the standard, I really believe, in a lot of these series. So we want to thank you too. And I think, George, any final thoughts before we put a bow on 2018?
You know, just that it's proven once again that a season is never over till it's over. This is the second time in Lionheart history that a championship has come down to 1 point. Every point counts. Every point matters. These guys, they don't give up. They show up prepared. They put in all this time. That's one of the things that's a very big ask of all the drivers in this league is just to, it's enormous the amount of time that they prepare and the dedication that they put into this league. And without that, I don't think that we would be able to put on the type of racing that we do. So I tip my hat off to all the members for the time and effort that they've put into making this league in Lionheart, I feel one of the best open leagues here on iRacing. So, again, I just want to thank all our drivers for a great season.
Thank you, George.
All right. Well, thank you once again. And we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Everybody stick around, though, because we're going to have a group moment in just a second. So the action, of course, over for now. But when it's time to go sim racing again, nothing's going to beat the feel of a true hydraulic braking system from HPP Simulation. Designed and manufactured in the USA on state-of-the-art CNC equipment, HPP's hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information, please visit www.hppsimulation.com.
Okay, boys, I'm going to do the butt kicker plug. I'm going to need a little group help. You know where. Butt kicker products add instant immersion to any game. Unlike a subwoofer that moves air and loses accuracy and force, butt kicker products move actual mass. Here we go. Producing everybody. Haptic immersion. There we go. That was haptic immersion. We really tested what our software.
I think we found the limit of Discord.
Yeah, that's powerful and accurate. Butt kicker products add that missing driver-to-car connection, bringing more realism and immersion to your sessions. See all the family of Butt Kicker at thebuttkicker.com. Use the promo code LION20 to get 20% off your order.
Oh, we really tried. I think it worked out well. Anyway, also brought to you tonight by the Sim Pit, an entertainment channel dedicated to sim racing. Its focus is to bring you news, reviews, and information from around the world about sim racing hardware and software. It also focuses on what it takes to be a better sim racer with instructional videos and how-tos that will help your performance on the virtual track. Go ahead and give Sean Cole and crew a visit at thesimpit.com. And to contact any of the sponsors you see on the screen right now, go to lionheartracingseries.com, click on 2018 sponsors, read and scroll to the bottom where you click on the company logo. On the screen now are just some of the companies, equipment, and software that made this broadcast possible. The iconic original music that lets your ears alert your eyes you're watching a GSRC production comes courtesy of Eric Echolm and June Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
You heard series organizer George Anzaldo talk about what's coming up in 2019. GSRC will be there. We hope you join us. Sliding across your screen right now are just some of the upcoming broadcasts. So check those out and mark them down on your calendar if you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including a complete list of broadcasts. You can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel, Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And if you haven't done so already, GSRC YouTube channel subscriber, you want to become one, you just go on ahead and hit that big red button there, and you will join some of the 7,000 subs that are part of our family.
All right, little house on the prairie moment here. Finally, on behalf of the crew, Soup, Amjad, Dougie, also Adam, Alex, I already said Amjad, Andrew, Bob, Chris, Dan, David, Dustin, Jake, Jason, George, Sam, and of course, everybody else at the Lionheart Retro Series. Thanks for watching here on the iRacing Esports Network tonight. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Until next time, race clean, race hard. We'll see you on the track.